Don, can you hear the judge?
No, he's kind of, has he got his mic on?
Now, is that any better? Is that any better, Don?
A little bit.
Okay. We'll work on it. All of you all, we've got the new mics and all, so it'll take a little tinkering and us getting used to doing that. But Don is with us by phone this morning, so everybody bear with us. If you will, all stand and join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Be seated. Mayor, God bless our meeting this morning as we try to work through these. We had a all-day work session trying to get most of this lined out in an orderly manner, and we've been tinkering with a few little changes this morning, nothing relative really to the agenda, just getting a lot of it straightening out. So with that, Madam Clerk, if you will present the minutes.
Yes, sir. I'm asking for approval for the minutes from the July 15th regular session. I did leave it in attendance at the circuit courtroom, and that'll need to be changes to this building.
Okay, so that's just she can write that in. I don't think we have I do need a motion to approve the minutes with that change in it.
So moved.
All right,
Second.
motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Madam Clerk.
Treasurer's report,
Ms. Tanya.
on your financial cover sheet for July 31st, 2020, receipts are $5,475,543.69. Disbursements are $1,120,263.90, and ending cash balance is $4,355,279.79.
Okay, need a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ms. Tanya.
Total encumbrances for general fund was $144,976.24. Road fund was $163,811.38. Jail fund was $130,236.01. 911 fund had $1,660. You also notice an additional sheet in your packet. General fund had an additional $63,547.56.
Need a motion to approve that report from the treasurer on the financial statement.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Madam Clerk.
We had three cash
Treasurer.
transfers. Transfer from general fund money market, Murray Bank to the general fund, Murray Bank in the amount of $500,000. Transfer from general fund Murray Bank to the jail fund, Murray Bank in the amount of $250,000. Transfer from jail construction Murray Bank to the jail fund, Murray Bank in the amount of $170,000.
They need a motion to approve the transfers.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
That concludes my report.
Thank you, ma'am. Madam Clerk.
New business special district tax rate presentations.
Basically what this, is there anybody here representing one of the taxing districts that would like to give their recommendations to this time?
Judge Brandon McCallum had indicated he would be here, but he's not here yet, so we may have to come back to that.
Okay. Is anybody else here now represent your particular district? Okay, we'll move on. When Randy comes in, Gina, let me know, and we'll go back to it. Next order of business would be the county rates. As you know, every year, typically in August, we set the county rate for the real estate taxes for the county. It is my recommendation that we keep the rate the same as it was last year, which is 0.135%. Again, that's the same rate that we had last year. So I would entertain a motion to approve that rate.
So moved.
Motion,
Second.
second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. This is, next thing we're going to talk about is an ordinance franchise agreement. In your packet, you have a copy of the telecommunications franchise ordinance. It's an ordinance creating and established for a non-exclusive telecommunications franchise for the placement of facilities for the generation, transmission, distribution, and sale of telecommunication services within the right-of-ways or on our right-of-ways of our roads in the county for a contract, or the franchise is for a 10-year period. Are there questions for what we're doing here? Then this would be an official reading of that. We have to come back next month and do a second reading and have a public comment period, so we'll consider that read into the minutes. Is that right, Brian? Okay. The second is relative to an ordinance. Also in your package, you have an amendment to our subdivision regulations, which, again, we will have to consider we don't need a vote on it today, but we'll have to consider at our next meeting, and again, I assume have a public hearing. Brian, if you want to comment on more about this.
Yes, Judge, the amendment is based upon an inconsistency or ambiguity in our existing subdivision ordinance or regulations that are, it's a pretty substantial ordinance. So it's not surprising that the county attorney from 20 years ago might have made a mistake, but in any event, there's one section that says fiscal court may do this one thing, which is requiring a developer to finish roads. The other section says that the fiscal court shall do that. And so this is clearing it up just to make both of those things at the court's discretion, so that it's just resolving the ambiguity. And this, as well as the previous ordinance that the judge read about the franchise agreement, it's my understanding that those are available here at the annex.
Correct.
For reading by the public or anybody else.
Any further comment or questions on that? Okay, we'll consider that read into the minutes. The next item is the acceptance of the RFP, which we put out, went through the bid. It's not a bid process, but different agencies were allowed to submit requests for proposals to us regarding the fiber optic network within the county. The bid, we received the singular bid from West Kentucky Telephone, and it's concerning the broadband internet access throughout the county. So we would need a motion to accept that RFP, which is equivalent to the bid that they proposed, and need a motion first, and then we'll have discussion.
Make the motion?
Okay.
Second.
Motion second to accept the proposal. Now, do you have questions or discussion? Trevor's here to answer questions on it. Brian, y'all have particular questions? What we're doing basically goes back to what we did last meeting. they being West Kentucky Telephone, is applying for a federal grant in the amount of $5 million. It would be subject, all of this is subject and contingent upon the approval of that grant, and then we and West Kentucky Telephone would have to do the rest of it. But if you got specific questions or anything, Brian and Trevor are both here to try to address them. Okay, then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, aye. Don, I don't know if you're voting or not, but, you may want to vote to record it.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that, Judge.
We're voting on the acceptance of the RFP from West Kentucky Telephone to apply for the federal grant, on the matter that we discussed last meeting and voted to approve. And if you want to record a vote, that's fine, or not.
No, I support.
Okay. So motion carries. Next item would be discussion of the bids that were submitted for the ankle monitor program with the judicial service, the jail, where we can more handily, readily, and cost effectively maybe get some of our inmates out of the jail itself and put them on ankle monitors, which would, in hopes, save our jail costs, you know, for keeping inmates. They would still be monitored as a fee for that. There's a way it's broken down as far as indigent, and then the fees, they have to be approved in advance and paid for in advance. And I can't remember what, Ken, like 2 weeks is, or is that even set yet? Okay, it's overseen by a board that judges, most the county attorney, commonwealth's attorney, all these guys kind of get together, and then the judge, circuit or district judge would technically approve those, and the jail would put them on and all that. So we basically are accepting the bid. Ken, you want to comment on any of it and tell anybody what it's?
I think you explained it pretty well, but my recommendation is to go with the instructions for
Right. I will say we got 3 different bids, but only one of them actually met the proposed request. Is that right, Brian?
Correct.
So then we will go ahead, and I need a motion to accept that proposal. And I think Marshall County may be joining with us, but this is a standalone thing at this point, but it may develop into, because that's the 42nd, they're a part of the 42nd Judicial District, so it may be cost effective for them to come in with us. It's no agreement between Callaway and Marshall, but it will be through the board. So I need a motion to accept that proposal.
So moved.
Motion second.
Judge.
Okay.
Judge.
What's he saying? He seconded.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he wants your attention, Judge.
You got the judge's attention.
Okay, Judge, this is Don. I'm going to excuse myself from the vote since I served on that committee.
He's recusing himself from the vote
Okay,
since he served
okay.
on the board.
Thank you. I understand. Thank you. Brian, did you have some comment?
I did, but I think I was gonna let you get your second and get into discussion, if that's all right.
Yeah, we've got the second.
Second.
Judge, there were actually 2 bids that conformed or 2 proposals that conformed, but my recommendation based upon the pricing and the fact that the Community Corrections Board had actually contemplated and factored into their pricing, working with and not overburdening our other agencies. That was the recommendation there. So it wasn't that the other bid did not conform. One of them did.
I stand corrected.
I just wanted to be
And I knew that, I just didn't explain it very well. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. This time, I'm going to request of the court that you allow me to file an application with the Department of Local Government to apply for the issuance of a municipal bond in the amount of $8,500,000 upon, I want to stress we're just applying for this. We've got several stopgaps down the way if we decide we don't want to do it, but we have to start the process through DLG. Upon their approval, along with a public hearing, then we would seek the fundings from, or we would through financial institutions to actually bid. They would be bidding on the sale of the bonds, and then the interest rate at that time would be a factor in us making a decision whether to go forward. These funds will be exclusively used for major county road improvements and include a feasibility study of a modern 20 to 24 foot wide road paralleling Kentucky Lake from Kentucky 80 to 121, theoretically within a half mile or a mile from Kentucky 80 all the way through 121. Part of that would be, part of this study will tell us if it's practical to go around Blood River or the practicality of building a bridge over Blood River. I mean, there's lots of hurdles to cross. The cost of this is less than $30,000. I mean, we could do it, quite frankly, without the bond, but it is part of the road things that we're trying to do. And that the road system anticipates using current county and state animal shelter and possibly a new location for that. But if you've been to our animal shelter, it's really getting in bad shape, and we simply have got to do that. But we would anticipate that these bond funds would be used in half up to probably $250,000, assuming they could raise $250,000 or whatever the figure is. We don't have actual bids on the building that we would need here. We have some drawings, we can submit those and get better costs. Where it would be physically located would be a part of that. But basically it's 50/50 cost. But that's what the entire request that I would be asking you to allow me to make to them. And again, I want to assure everyone this is a request. It's a 2 or 3 month process. It has to go to DLG, and then it has to go to the bond rating people to see how we rate. We have very little debt in Callaway County. This would incur debt that would be paid back over a number of years, 10 or 15 years, but it would get approximately at least 20% of our county roads paved, for lack of a better word, or brought up to a standard that right now we're kind of losing ground a little bit every year on our ability to maintain and keep those up. So it would get 20% of those out to where basically we would just be doing ditching and mowing of the right-of-ways, and that way our road crew could focus more on the maintenance of the remaining 80%, fixing potholes, running the total patcher, and getting those ready to pave with state monies. But we are looking at places that we could service the debt. That will be one of the primary things if we incur it, that we can service it. And the bonding companies obviously will be looking at that too. So with that, I will make a motion that you allow me to do that, and need a second to do that.
Second.
Okay. Have motion and seconds. Any discussion or questions? I went through this kind of fast.
And my second is, my understanding is that this is just paperwork and obligates us to nothing
That's correct.
at this point.
Now, I want to make that clear to everybody, because it has to go through DLG. There's a public hearing involved in that, where locally we'll call the meeting here. People can participate on it and understand what you would get for it, whether we can service the debt, and how all of it works together and try to answer those questions. But there are several points which we can stop, and the application is of no cost to us. We submit it, we have the hearing. Till we get down to, once the people that furnish the money submit their bids, you know, we won't know, but then we've got a place to say, appreciate everybody's time, but, you know, we're not going to do this. Any other questions or discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Madam Clerk, I'm sorry, I just kind of run over you sometimes.
It's time for board appointments.
Yes, we have two appointments to try to make this morning, and the first would be with the local fire board. As most of you probably know, we have a vacancy there. Terry Little has moved to town, which disqualifies him from actually being on the board. Terry has been a very valuable member of that board, very active and all that, but technically, because he has moved into the city now, he is disqualified. So it is my recommendation and nomination of Tracy McKinney to take the place on the fire board. Tracy, that term would expire June the 30th, 2022. We're trying to get all of our board appointments on the timetables they originally were, so you're basically filling out an unexpired term, and then, of course, you could be reappointed at that time. But I'll make that in the form of nomination. Guess I need a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Tracy, I guess. The next nomination would be for the Callaway County Public Library Board of Trustees, and I nominate Levi Weatherford to that position. That position will expire on August the 15th, 2024. All of these appointments, be sure everybody helps us keep in line that we do put the expiration date on it. There's been a lot of confusion, in particular with the library board, but I talked to Commissioner Manuel earlier this week. He agrees, let's get them systematically lined back up, like otherwise we would have 4 of the 5 positions coming open next year. So with that, I would nominate Levi Weatherford to the Callaway County Public Library Board of Trustees. Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I did interview Larry and the other nominee, and this will allow the other nominee to go back into the pool. They will be, I'm sure, meeting and recommending to us for the September meeting. Again, 2 names. I did ask Commissioner if I could just go ahead and appoint the 2 of them at this time, but according to an Attorney General's opinion, you have to have 2 names submitted for each position. So just as a matter of explanation, that's why we're doing it this way. Madam Clerk.
Resolutions.
Okay, Sam, you here? Yes, sir. All right, we have a resolution. I'd ask Antonia to read and then the court consider and adopt.
In regards of the matter of recognizing Sheriff Sam Steger, whereas Sheriff Sam Steger will be retiring from the Callaway County Sheriff's Office in August of 2020 with over 28 years of law enforcement service, with over 6 of those years being the Sheriff of Callaway County. Whereas Sheriff Sam Steger has been in law enforcement since 1992, where he started his career at Murray State University as a dispatcher. He later joined the Murray Police Department. He eventually joined the Kentucky State Police until retiring in 2013. Whereas Sheriff Sam Steger started his career at Kentucky State Police in January 1998 when he was assigned to Post 1 after graduating from the Kentucky State Police Academy the previous June. Whereas Sheriff Sam Steger spent 1998 to 2001 at Post 1 as a trooper before becoming a detective and performing in that role from 2001 to 2006. He was promoted to sergeant in 2006 and assigned to post 16 in Henderson, but returned to post 1 as a detective sergeant after spending less than 1 year in Henderson. Whereas Sheriff Sam Steger finished his tenure as a detective sergeant at the Mayfield post the final 7 years. Whereas Sheriff Sam Steger received 3 official letters of commendation from the state police commissioner during his career. In 2001, he not only received a commissioner's commendation, but was also named Trooper of the Year for Post 1. Whereas Sheriff Sam Steger graduated from the Federal Bureau of Investigation National Academy in 2010. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Fiscal Court of Callaway County, Kentucky as follows. The Fiscal Court of Callaway County, Kentucky does hereby recognize Sheriff Sam Steger for his outstanding years of service to this court and to the citizens of Callaway County. While no one is irreplaceable, his dedication to duty, leadership, and commitment will certainly be sorely missed. Approved, resolved, adopted, and executed this 19th day of August, 2020.
I move for the adoption of the resolution.
So move.
Have several seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Sam, could you meet me up here in front, please? This isn't much, but it means a lot to us. We don't have keys to the city or things like that, but this officially makes the sheriff now a honorary squire of Callaway County with all the privileges and benefits and bonuses that go with that. And I don't want to be personal, Sheriff, that you've been a great friend and done an amazing, great service for Callaway County. We appreciate what you've done. Thank you again. I just, as a note, point out that Monday, that when Sam officially resigned, I did appoint Nikki Knight as the sheriff to fill out the term of office. Also, just as a note, on the 13th, of this month, the Fiscal Court appointed Janet DeWitt to the Board of Assessment Appeals as the chairperson. She was already, we confirmed her, she was actually a city appointment, and, well, she wasn't a city appointment, but she was named chair, and then the city named a new member of the Board of Appeals. They just meet basically once a year and go over appeals to someone's taxes. Okay, next order, Madam Clerk.
In
Yes.
other business,
Yes, ma'am, I think so.
EMS truck purchase request.
Okay. Huh? Jesse's not here yet, so we'll go on through that, and then,
Judge, he's in
Right.
training, he will not be here
He
today.
is coming.
Oh, you?
okay. Well, we'll wait to the end. Does anybody want to kind of explain that now, or let's just wait and see if he gets over here in the next little bit. Personnel actions. Joel Stansberry, our road supervisor, has requested that he be allowed to step down as road supervisor for the Callaway County Road Department, but stay on as an operator and liaison with the new road supervisor, and we have accepted this request and really appreciate Joel has brought a lot to to our road department. We're trying to kind of move it forward and get it organized into a modern road department, and Joel has been an intricate part of that. He will be staying on to work with the new supervisor and then working on projects as they work out. If it pleases the court also, I would recommend that Richard Edmonds be appointed the new Callaway County Road Supervisor. I've known Richard for a long time. He's somewhat new to that aspect, but he has while he's not a licensed engineer, he probably knows as much as a lot of engineers in his field. He's been working with cable, and they've run on our cable and telephone services, so he's very much acquainted with our right-of-ways, how they work, and I'm sure he and Joel will work together to complement each other on that. But with that, Richard would be hired as Callaway County Road Supervisor. He will meet with the state people Friday of this week to be sure that he meets all the state requirements for that. And so with that, I would move to appoint Richard Edmonds as the Callaway County Road Supervisor. I'll need a second.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, I'd ask you to vote on approval of Richard. And we'll have Hawkins will have something other about his background and all that. Trevor could probably tell you a little bit about him. He's worked locally, he's worked out west and laying these lines and underground and all that stuff. So I think it's a very good choice. It'll be while typically we've kind of promoted from within, Richard will come in with a wealth of management experience, and I just think this is going to be a good idea. So,
Judge, you were talking about Joel, and I know all the magistrates, we appreciate what he's done. I know you do, and he has advanced the road department. Just appreciate everything he's done.
all right. Well, we've been able, through his leadership too, to get a lot of our equipment upgraded. The way we do business down there, we've cut some expenses that, as a county, they were nice services and all that, but we've had to go through that because of our money situations and eliminate that. He's provided extreme leadership, and then, as I said a year or two ago when we adopted the CRIS program, that will be our foundation, and Joel has been getting all that put together. It's probably not yet complete, but we're measuring every road. We know how much traffic is going to be on it, what repairs need to be on it. That will be the backbone of the way we go forward with the future. We're not going to just be paving Tracy's road because we like Tracy, but this will be a legitimate thing to get our county road system together. And Joel that CRIS program has been with him working on it. I mean, it's a big spreadsheet for each road in the county. And again, I'd like to mention we've got 720 miles of county road, and I don't know how many actual roads that is. There's a book in there, and it's just the listing of them is mind-boggling sometimes. So, Squire Hale, I totally agree with you. I mean, it's just he's advanced us quite a few years, and his willingness to, have more free time, that's a job in itself. I mean, we think as magistrates, judge, and attorneys, clerks, that we have our hands full, but when you can imagine everybody in Callaway County calling you about their road and wanting this fixed and wanting that fixed, it just takes a special person, and Joel has always done that with dignity and grace. He's very even-tempered, and he's just done an amazing job. So with that, then we have motion and second, ask for your approval to name Richard Edmonds as the new county road supervisor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Bill, you want to come in and kind of update us on where we are with the DES stuff?
It's been several months since I met with you and updated you on the DES rescue shutdown process. And then the virus really slowed us down too, being able to do anything. So we're trying to get going on it. I think in the next few weeks we'll be able to finish up distributing the property that's left over there through, selected a few items for his operation, and completed the inventory and so forth. I've mowed the lot once. So hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll get that all distributed out. I'll get an inventory list out for folks in the county agencies to look at. And they can meet with us and request what they want, and we'll go from there.
All right. Bill, thank you. I assume whatever's left, then we like would have an auction or something like that.
That'd be kind of what you folks want to do, when what's left over, we can either turn it over to you for you to deal with, or I'll help go through a process of auctioning, or however you want to do it.
Okay.
And then once the building's
What's left?
emptied out of anything valuable, then we turn that over to the, I'm sure we'll donate that to the fiscal court for you to take care of.
What would you think might be left after everybody's kind of gone through?
There's some broken down equipment. I don't think anyone will want a broken down generator, for example, those type of things.
I've already got one of those broken down generators, so I don't need another one.
So there'll be some items like that.
Thank you, Bill. Bill's be commended, because he has really worked hard and diligent to get this thing to the point that it is now, and hopefully maybe within the next 2 or 3 months we can totally get that out of the way. So Bill, thank you so very much. Gina, have you got anything administrative things that we need to bring up or anything? I guess you're shaking your head. I can.
Well, do you want to go back to the EMS truck purchase?
Well, we're waiting till Chess.
He's in training.
He's less than 5 minutes away.
So you're texting him, are you talking to him direct?
Yes,
Okay.
because we went from leasing to purchasing, and he wanted to be here because we've talked to the girl, and he just wanted to make sure that everybody understood exactly what we were doing after our long discussion Monday.
Okay, was there anything else that you're aware of, Gina, about the administrative code that we need to go into now? I know we're working still about the drug thing and a few other things, getting some things tightened up, but,
Helen's not here yet either.
okay. Well, we're about to wind it up. I don't know if Randy's gonna get here on time or not.
You gotta read them in the minutes. Even
Okay.
if he's not here, you gotta read them in.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do that now. This is a letter from the Conservation District to me as judge, and it's basically telling us what our rate is, and I guess that would be a presentation. I just hope Randy would be here to answer any question. The Callaway County Conservation tax rate for the FY 2021 request from the fiscal court is our current millage tax of 1/2 cent per assessment, which has not changed from the previous years, and this will be maintained by the soil conservation system. So we'll go ahead and read that in, so their rate's not changing either, just like the counties did. Is there another one? Let me read this in too. The East Fork Clarks River, which is kind of a subsidiary to them, floodplain conservation district tax rate for the upcoming year request from the fiscal court is their current millage tax of 4 mills per thousand, which has not changed from last year. That's signed by Chris Thorne, the chair of the conservation of the East Fork Clarks River. You got the county one, and then they've got a special one just for the East Forks that's done separately, but those are ready, and we don't have to take action on them or anything, do we? Okay. I want to mention too that I think in February, before COVID started, that we had reinstituted the Transportation Committee, and we've talked to Bill Markham, who is the chair, and authorized them to kind of get moving again. I mean, everything's been shut down for the last 2 or 3 months, but to get them to work on Chris, work with Joel and Richard at the road department, assess the needs and what we as a county ought to be doing with our county road system. So hopefully they'll get back together in the next month and then maybe have a report for us on what they're doing or the way they're going about it. Have I left out anything that, waiting on Chess? What?
Here.
Chess is here. Chess, come on in. What we're doing was discussing, and we discussed at our Monday meeting, the virtues of leasing or buying outright a EMS vehicle. And Chess, you want to give us a quick update? We'll get you back to your meeting.
Thank you, Judge. As the judge mentioned, we discussed Monday benefits of leasing versus purchasing, and I believe we decided that it would be more beneficial financially for, as far as emergency management, to purchase due to the reimbursement from the state with the EMPG funds. We're eligible for 50% reimbursement on a vehicle purchase. I've spoken with the folks in Frankfurt and actually already got it approved through them and cleared with them. So all that paperwork was done actually beforehand, just in case the court did decide to proceed that way. The maximum purchase price would be $30,000. It's actually about $30,300, I believe. I've also been speaking with the deputy judge since our Monday meeting, and we're actually going to make sure that we are getting the best deal. So it would not be anything over that. We're actually going to try to do our best to come in under that. But between the 50% reimbursement, then we have a claim that was filed from emergency management from the fall of last year that, for I think reasons unknown to us, was for some reason stalled in Frankfurt, but that's been approved. And we should be getting paid on that. I believe Gidget's been in communication with the office there about getting us reimbursed on that, and it's $9,300. I apologize, I misspoke Monday. I said $9,800, but it's $9,300 and some change that is coming back to us on that. So at $30,000, 50% reimbursement being 15, then we have about $9,300, a little over $9,300 coming back. So we should be below $5,000 out of pocket when everything's all said and done. It's just a matter of getting that first claim back, then submitting the claim for the purchase of the vehicle and getting that reimbursement back. So a few moving parts there, but that's basically, I believe, where we settled on being the best option financially for the county. And then, so I guess I would also need to request surplusing of the current vehicle, correct? Because that's going to come into play as a trade-in. That was a $10,000 trade-in credit there. So taking that into account, we should end up actually being a little bit ahead. So again, moving parts.
Basically, we need a motion then to authorize you to go ahead and trade, and based on what you've told us, that would be the proper motion that we're trying to do.
Yeah, I guess, will there be one to surplus the current one and then a separate one to?
Well, the surplus goes in on the trade, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think that's.
Well, it's actually,
What?
it was going to be traded on
We can trade in on that vehicle, but we don't have to technically surplus it. We can.
I think the court is supposed to do a surplus when you
Okay.
use it as trade-in.
Can we
I
put that
thought we
on
were
motion?
keeping that truck. We're not trading it in, we're keeping the.
Well, it's actually, I thought we were trading it on another vehicle purchase that I'm not here to speak on.
Not yet.
Right, no, we're not trading it yet, no, but.
We just need to start.
It just needs to be surplus.
Yes, no,
And then-
that part that's somebody else's, I don't wanna speak on his request, but that trade was gonna be on the 911 side of things.
Yes. No, you have to surplus.
All right, let's do it this way. Let's go ahead and surplus that vehicle, as county property, it's surplus property. So that would be a motion to surplus it. I need a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, the second motion would be to purchase the truck that we talked about. Okay. Everybody get that?
Okay.
All right. Motion second. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I think that did it, Jess. You can go back to one of those fun-loving meetings.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, just sit down.
On, I think the E-tel contract, that's a contract we have with our county office phones. Lisa and Shanna have been discussing that. We thought we may have it ready this morning. I think the only thing we're lacking, the printing contract that we got said it's a 3-year contract, and had asked for a 2, which I think they have agreed to, but there's no harm in just putting it off to actual approval till next month. Is that correct? Okay, so that's just an informational thing on it. Okay, what else we got? Anything? We've done Randy's thing, Bill's thing. Jess is covered now. What else we got? Madam Clerk, can you figure out? As far as official business at the court?
I have marked we're ready for official and staff reports.
Okay. Alrighty, Squires, y'all got commentary or ideas, discussions? Hey, Clyde?
No, sir.
Paul?
No, sir.
Larry?
No.
Don, if you're still with us, it's your turn to say anything you want to say.
Yeah, I'm still here, Judge. No, I have nothing.
Okay, thanks, sir. Brian?
Yes, Judge. First, I want to say that I wish Sam Steger well in his next part of his life after the Callaway County Sheriff's Office. He will be missed, but I've worked closely with Nikki Knight for the last 6 years, and I have every confidence that we will be on just as good a footing as we have been, and that there's nothing they're going to throw at him that he's not already ready for. So congratulations to Nikki and Sam. And the other thing is my office, as was reported in the newspaper and WKMS, suffered some COVID positivity, unfortunately, and we had a couple of cases positives within just about a week of each other. So my office has been shut down since last Thursday when we got news of that. It is going to remain closed and unavailable through this week. That doesn't mean I'm not working. It doesn't mean my staff's not working remotely. It just means that the only way to reach us will be through email. That was previously in the paper, but it's Callaway County Attorney at gmail.com. All of that spelled out. And but the phones will be back on. You'll be able to get us starting Monday, and it will open back up for in-person appointments at that time, but it will remain closed to in-person drop-in traffic due to the recent local rise in cases. So we want to continue to play it safe. So my people are recovering, the ones that were positive, and so we're it appears we're going to make it through. Everybody else was negative, but we will reopen next week.
Thanks, sir. Madam Treasurer, you got anything else?
No, sir.
Madam Clerk?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay. Nikki's not here, Nathan's not here. Ken, you got anything to add?
The other
Nikki's
Nikki.
here.
Huh?
Nikki is.
He meant the other Nikki.
He meant the other.
Oh, there you are.
No, it's Nikki Knight.
Nikki
Oh, I
Knight's
thought you
here.
meant Nikki.
If you got anything, Nikki, I'm sorry.
Just real quick, I just wanted to say thank you to you and for your confidence in me to step up and take Sam's place. I know I got some big shoes to fill. He's taught me a lot over the last 6 years, and I intend to do everything I can not to disappoint.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Nikki. Ken, you didn't have anything. Manon, does say Manon come in? Manon, you got anything? No. All righty. Joel's not here. Linda Avery's not here. Anybody want to say something? Period.
Thank you for the appointment.
Yes, ma'am. I explained to them before you got here, Manon, I assume y'all will meet back again, submit the names, and hopefully we can get all this cleared up. Next meeting, I did talk to the commissioner the other day. We've got a pretty good working arrangement we agreed on, and he supports, so I think we get everything in line, and at least by next year, we should have everything smoothed out. So thank you. If not, if there's no other business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. And I want to finish my sentence by saying I appreciate, we've had a different week this week, and I know our communities, I think everybody's a little bit, I don't know, we're not all adapted totally to all of this, but we just continue to pray for our community that we can kind of get together for the folks at Callaway County and Murray State, that we've always been, that we'd all work together for the progress of our county and our city and our university. So, motion carries. We're adjourned.
All right. Thanks for the help, Bob.
All right, see you, Don. Have a good day. Get better.